You probably think the cheapest town near Winston-Salem is the safest bet. Today, I'm showing you 3 towns in this area that each come with a catch the listings won't tell you about. After 16 years of selling in this market, I've watched buyers make the same mistake in all 3. And if you're weighing a move here, this might be the video you'd like to watch first. Mount Airy, the build your own income town. Whistle the tune in your head because you're about to hear it in real life. About 40 minutes northwest of Winston-Salem, right near the Virginia line, sits the town that inspired Mayberry. This is Mount Airy, Andy Griffith's hometown, and it embraces that identity with everything it's got. The historic downtown recently earned Main Street America accreditation again, and you can see why. There's a walkable strip of shops, a new boutique hotel inside a historic mill building, and a streetscape project underway to widen the sidewalks and bury the power lines. Here's the deal. Affordability is why people look here in the first place. Homes are usually priced in the high 2s to low 3s, well below what you'd pay closer to Winston-Salem. That brings in a certain type of buyer: remote workers, downsizers, and people priced out of bigger markets who want more house for their money. The catch is the local job market. This place runs on tourism, and that doesn't create the same range of jobs you'd find in, frankly, bigger metros. And if you're hoping to move up in a local company or find specialized jobs in a town, your options, they may be limited. Most jobs here are in manufacturing, healthcare, and hospitality. So who does well here? People who bring their own income with them. If you work remotely, you're retired, or you own a business, your money can go a long way here. Keep this in the back of your mind. The last town on this list has too much economic growth, which creates a very different problem, and I'll get to that soon. Now, this town grew fast over COVID because people realized they could live just about anywhere while working with a company based somewhere else. It's still a tourist town. I'm not gonna pretend otherwise, but it's starting to feel more like a small city that can stand on its own beyond weekend tourism. The hospital situation is also changing. The Northern Regional Hospital has been the local option for years, and Novant Health is working to take it over. That deal includes a commitment of more than $200 million for the hospital and local workers. The county has already signed off, but the deal still needs to clear state regulatory approvals before it officially closes. And if you want a small town feel, a walkable downtown, and you don't need a local paycheck, well, Mount Airy might be a great fit. If you're counting on building a career here, or you need regular access to major specialty care, this town might frustrate you. Get that trade-off right, and it can be hard to beat. Next up is a town that looks charming on a map, but feels very different once you're standing in the middle of it. Real quick, before we move on, if you're thinking about moving to any of these towns, or frankly anywhere in North Carolina, I help people relocate across this region every week. I can help you figure out which one fits your life and your budget. My contact information is in the description below, and I promise to stop selling now. Let's keep going. Yadkinville, the rural sprawl town. Town number 2 sits about 30 minutes west of Winston-Salem. This is Yadkinville, the county seat of Yadkin County. The draw is simple. You're right in the middle of Yadkin Valley wine country. The area has an official wine trail with several working vineyards, along with the scenic back roads that are popular with cyclists throughout all seasons. On paper, it sounds like a charming little wine village. In person, it feels very different. It's a working county seat, not a postcard downtown. You've got a Food Lion, a Dollar General, a Sheetz, a McDonald's, and a few other local restaurants along State Street. The town's own plan includes a goal to build a vibrant downtown, which tells you where things stand today. It's still a goal. If you're picturing boutique shops and a walkable town square like you'd find in California wine country, you won't find that when you pull into town. We almost put Danbury on the list instead, but this town makes the point better. There isn't much of a downtown feel. Most of the town is spread out, but that's also why some people move here. See, they want to feel out of the way, and they get that here. I've also gotten stuck behind road bikers out there more times than I can count. If you've driven around the wine country road roads on a Saturday, you know what I mean. The land is the main draw. You can find large parcels, usually an acre or more, with homes selling for $300,000 to tops $500,000. That kind of space this close to the Triad is hard to find elsewhere on the list. There isn't a hospital in Yadkin County, and that's easy to miss until you need one. You've got urgent care in town, but for anything serious, you're driving about 30 minutes into Winston-Salem to reach hospitals in systems like Novant Health. Yadkinville is closer to those hospitals than the other two towns we're covering. It helps to think of it as a quiet rural suburb of Winston-Salem with more land and a slower pace. One more thing to watch for. Some properties listed as Yadkinville have rural mailing addresses 10 or even 20 miles outside town. Those homes may come with well and septic systems, private road maintenance, and spotty internet. You may not notice any of them while scrolling through listings. So, who does well here? Someone who wants more land and privacy and doesn't need a walkable downtown or, frankly, a strong town center. If you're expecting cafes and wine country charm to be a part of your daily life, you'll probably be disappointed. Whether that works for you depends on what you need each day. There's one town left, and it comes with a very different problem. Lexington, the comeback town. There's a reason people plan road trips around a single plate of chopped pork from this town. About 25 minutes south of Winston-Salem, the shortest drive of the three, sits Lexington, known as the barbecue capital of the world. And I'm telling you, it's the truth. They've been smoking barbecue here since the early 1900s, and it's more than a local claim. In 2007, the state legislature named the Lexington Barbecue Festival the region's official food festival. This town has earned its reputation. The catch is its past. This was a furniture and textile town, and when those industries declined across the country, the town lost a big part of its job base. You can still see that history as you drive through town, and the older factory buildings to a downtown that's still being rebuilt. And the comeback is underway, and there are real signs of progress. A $220 million Siemens mobility plant recently opened here. It's already building passenger rail cars and is expected to bring more than 500 jobs to the area. US Foods is also opening a major distribution center in town, expected to bring more than 100 new jobs in 2027. Also, plans for passenger rail service are moving forward. Together, those projects are bringing new jobs and investments to the area. I'll give it to you straight, the comeback's not quite finished yet, but nobody leaves disappointed after a plate of Lexington barbecue. And that mix of progress and unfinished work is why this place deserves a closer look. A fire earlier this year destroyed a couple of key businesses in the middle of Uptown. Those buildings are being torn down instead of repaired, leaving a clear gap in one of downtown's most walkable blocks. The new passenger rail station people are talking about is real, but it's still a few years away from opening. Homes here usually sell in the mid-2s to the low 3s, and more new homes are being built as these employers bring attention to the area. The town also has its own hospital tied to the larger Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist Center. That means you don't need to drive far for routine care like you might in, say, Yadkinville. But before buying here, I want one question answered. Will the new Siemens job bring workers who choose to live here, or will most of them commute from nearby cities? And that's still playing out. If you're comfortable buying during a time of change, well, this may be the best long-term option on the list. If you want everything finished and polished before you move, well, you might want to give it another year or two. None of these towns is a mistake on its own. The problem sits when the town doesn't match how you want it to live. That's why you want an agent who tells you the truth before you sign, not after you're unpacking the boxes. If you're looking at one of these three towns, don't risk choosing the wrong one. Email me at sales@theginthergroup.com today, and I'll help you figure out which one works for you and your budget and your life before you make an offer. And if you've ruled out these three and you're wondering where to look next, watch the video on the screen below. I break down 8 places across North Carolina I'd move to in 2026. It's a great next step if you're still deciding where your money and lifestyle fits best. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.